Hi and welcome back to Cut the Craggle. Today we're going to be looking at 4 new custom minifigures the lovely people over at Minifigs.me were kind enough to send me. These are based on the Amazon Prime show The Boys. I previously reviewed 3 of their minifigures in this range last year, and with season 2 almost upon us, now seemed like a good time as ever to review the other 4. If you haven't already, be sure to check out that video as well. Now, even though Minifigs.me sent me these for free, all opinions will be my own. So if I don't like something, I'll let you know about it. If you do like the look of these minifigures or anything else from Minifigs.me, be sure to use my discount code 2020CRAGGLE10 to get 10% off your order. Alright, let's take a look at them. First up, we have the fastest man alive. Kinda. A-Train, as played by Jesse T. Usher. A-Train is the first Supe we meet in the show. He makes his gory entrance by running straight through Huey's girlfriend at superhuman speed, causing her to explode. Yeah, in case you didn't know, even though The Boys is a series about superheroes and is based off a comic book, it is most certainly not made for kids. Honestly, I think Minifigs.me have done an excellent job with this minifigure. It's always a balancing act, I think, for them, between including as much detail as they can with a design like this, and still keeping to the established LEGO aesthetic, or as close as to within that as possible. It would have been easy for them to just use a single flat blue torso and legs, slap a yellow belt design with the A insignia on it, and say, done. But they've created this intricate print with lots of different subtle shades that give it a really layered texture without it feeling too busy or crowded. Sadly, these minifigs were produced before I successfully bullied Minifigs.me into including side printing on the legs. But I do like the choice to give him different colour arms to his torso base. This minifigure comes with 2 different head prints, and in each one they've absolutely nailed A-Train's face. Here you have his for the camera's big cheesy grin with his goggles down, and then you have this much more perplexed expression without his goggles. Then we have Queen Maeve. Although you could be forgiven for mistaking this for Wonder Woman at first glance. The Boys comic was originally printed by Wildstorm, a subsidiary of DC Comics, and a lot of the characters in The Boys are either parodies or dark reflections of DC characters. Like Wonder Woman, Maeve has this armoured corset-like costume, although rather than Diana's bright primary colours, Maeve's is steeped more in dark red, and has this very ornate metallic sculpting. Unfortunately, I don't think Minifigs.me have done a particularly great job of capturing that here. The design is very flat. There's no suggestion of any kind of depth to it. I'm also a little puzzled why they printed the metal parts of her costume in this kind of off-white. In the show, it's a much darker metal, kinda like LEGO's gunmetal grey. The face print is fine, she looks pretty enough, although I would have liked something a little less vacant for the character, especially as she only comes with the one expression. I wouldn't go as far to say this is a bad minifigure, but it's certainly the weakest in this series that I've seen so far. Next up, we have The Deep. He's a clear parody of Aquaman, and a bit of an all-round scumbag. He's based more around the common perception of Aquaman that dominated pre-Momoa, with him being considered a bit of a joke superhero with feeble powers and silly abilities.
Hey, let her go!
Or what?
Or, I don't know, man, but you're lucky you're not doing that over here, in the ocean, or else I would stop you.
For God's sakes, help! Do something!
If you don't like starfish, you're gonna be mad about what I just did.
As such, his costume is a kind of rift on the old Super Friends Aquaman costume. That being said, it does have a very intricate scale texture to it, and Minifigs.me have done an excellent job in recreating that. And look, they've even carried that design over onto the sides of the legs. As I mentioned earlier, these were produced before I had bullied Minifigs.me into including side printing on the legs, so this really is a massive score. The face print for this figure is a little simplistic, but I actually think it captures the features of Trace Crawford rather well. Last but by no means least, we have Starlight. She's the newest member of the Seven, and it's through her eyes that we're introduced to the deeply deplorable world of corporate superheroes. Starlight's original outfit is a very classical superhero suit that has a wholesome blend to it. She's still a badass, but also a homegrown middle America girl, and didn't have the budget that they have at Voight to create the kind of highly technologically advanced superhero suits the rest of the Seven wear. In the show, her employers do eventually force Starlight to briefly wear a more revealing costume, but this figure is based on Starlight's classic costume, and I think the designers have done a brilliant job in translating it into Lego. There's a subtle silver star pattern that flows over everything, and Minifigs.me have even included that on the arms and the back of her torso as well. It's a little disappointing that they didn't make the design on her cape piece, considering they did do printing for Homelander's cape, but I don't think it's as integral to her look as it was for him. My biggest complaint with this minifig is the choice in hairpiece. Starlight wears a hairband. It's a small detail to get hung up on, but I feel it's a vital part of her girl next door appearance. And Lego have already produced a piece that would do the job with the Supergirl mini doll. The designers have done a terrific job with Starlight's face print though, with this infectiously cute smile on one side, and then a alternate face print showing her glowing eyes with a more angry and determined expression. Overall, I think these are some great looking custom minifigures. The Boys is an excellent show, but because of its sex, violence and other adult themes, official Lego wouldn't touch it with a 10-meter cattle prod, which is why it's such a treat to be able to get some high quality minifigs of your favourite characters. I only hope that Minifigs.me continue to produce more figures based on this series. I'd love to see some more of the boys themselves like Frenchie and Kimiko, or new characters like Stormfront that is set to make her debut in the upcoming second season. And remember, if you like the look of these minifigures or anything else from Minifigs.me, be sure to use my discount code 2020crackle10 to get 10% off your order. What do you think of these custom The Boys Lego minifigures? Let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to like, and if you haven't already, be a hero and hit that subscribe button. I'll see you next time. Laters.